Last week, I took you on a tour of this sketchbook, and this week, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 lessons that I learned in doing so. Point number 1, there is always beauty in everything. Every time you sit down to sketch, you're kind of wondering, okay, what's that interesting to sketch? And in the beginning, it's really difficult because your eyes are always trained to look for something that is pretty or that is Instagram worthy. But when it comes to sketching, you literally find that anything and everything is interesting. Whether it is a handle, whether it is a tree that you've seen 5 million times, whether it's a building, it can literally be anything that is mundane, that may not be super interesting, but when it comes to sketching, anything and everything goes, and that is the beauty of drawing and being able to draw the world around you. Lesson number 2 is that you always have enough time. The good thing about this sketchbook, and I've talked about this in a previous video, is that because it is so small, I'm able to take it with me everywhere, and that means that I'm able to draw with it even if I have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And a lot of the sketches in this book are actually done when I was waiting around 15 minutes, 20 minutes, even 10 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. So it just goes to show that you really don't need a lot of time to sketch, and the more you get used to sketching fast, the easier and quicker it becomes, and the more you're able to draw in a short amount of time. Lesson number 3 is the best thing that you have to draw with is the thing that you have with you on hand. So this could literally be anything, whether it's a biro, whether it's a pencil, absolutely anything at all. Even if it's something that you think you probably can't draw with, like let's say a random pen that you found from a hotel. You know, those are the kinds of things that you can draw with, and you can find the creative limitations that you can explore with these materials. You don't always need something super fancy. You know, a lot of my materials are just super cheap, things that you may find in a dollar store or, you know, like children's marker pens. You know, a lot of the sketches are done with materials that aren't very expensive, and it just goes to show that art is very accessible to everyone. It doesn't have to be super expensive, and it can actually really elevate your drawings because you're not worried about wasting ink, or you're not worried about, you know, mishandling something that's super expensive when you're drawing with like a 50p pencil, like a $5 pen. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, let's move on. Lesson number 4 is doesn't matter how it looks as long as you get the idea down. Now this is kind of a point I'm kind of on the fence about because I do believe that a sketch does kind of need to look good. However, having said that, for me a lot of the time I don't get a lot of my ideas down because I'm worried about how it's going to translate on the page. So with this sketchbook I really kind of pushed myself to draw the ideas that I had in my head, no matter how sketchy they were, no matter how much they didn't make sense, and I feel like I kind of successfully executed that because compared with my previous sketchbooks, at least this sketchbook has a lot more ideas and thoughts and randomness. And it's very important that your sketchbook is kind of like a safe space to do that because, I mean, where else are you going to draw these things, right? Where else are you going to get your ideas down on a page? Because your brain is not meant to store ideas, your brain is just meant to have them, and you're meant to kind of learn the skills in order to get the ideas out and on paper or out of your brain, basically. And I feel like the sketchbook is the perfect place to do that. And lesson number 5, writing in your sketchbook is perfectly okay. I feel like people don't do this that much, or maybe they feel like they're not allowed to. You can write in your sketchbook, why the hell not? For me at least, it's ironic because writing comes to me a lot easier than drawing. So a lot of the time when it comes to ideas that I have in my head of drawings, I normally automatically think of writing it down first, and that's what I do. And I think it should be normalized. It should be completely okay to write in your sketchbook, even if it means that you have more words than you have drawings. At least if it helps you to process, whatever helps you process your artwork, your visual artwork, then do it. It's completely okay. And those are the 5 lessons that I came up with. If you want the full sketchbook tour, you can check out last week's video, and if you have already watched it and you want to try something else, then you can check out this recommended video. And with that, I will see you next week for another video, and make sure, please, to like and subscribe. It really makes a difference. All right, bye.